here, so it means I'm here. I'm Lauren Toby at Danger. Welcome once again to the Thursday edition of AM Lagoslive, the very best of the very best. Don't forget that you can join the conversation live at www.metro977.fm on our website, and Facebook at Metro97.7 FM, Twitter and Instagram at Metro977 FM. I am at Ashabi on Twitter and Instagram, HASSHABIE, and Toby Adejare on Facebook. Once again, I am Lauren Toby Adejare. Welcome to the Thursday edition of AM Lagos Live with me and my favorite boyfriend, Sunday Imona.
The only boyfriend, not favorite.
Okay, he says no side kicks allowed.
No.
I hope Harry's not listening though.
Leave Henry. He's an apprentice. Come on. Anyways. All right, let's go in. A little bit of humor right there, just to soften the ground. So, to bring down the blood pressure for a bit. And then we go into the headlines. We have on the desk, we have the Punch newspaper, the Guardian, we got the Vanguard, of
the
course.
Nation. This day. Those are some of the papers we have for you on our lineup. Don't forget that we're going to be reading out the numbers for you to send in your contributions. We're also going to be hooking up with Adeolu Pilot later on to give us some traffic updates. Traffic is on another level in Lagos in the last 1 week, especially with the heat. I really don't know how people are coping. But honestly, shout out to every Lagosian out there who is trying to get their daily bread, who's trying to put food on their table. It's not easy. The combination of the heat and the traffic, potholes, it is not easy. And I pray that God will bless all our hustle, because it is not easy at all.
It isn't. I really don't want to go through what I experienced last night. We'll talk about that much later. I'm just eager to dive in and start feasting on the headlines that we have today. We're starting with the Punch newspaper this morning, and we have this one. The headline, the first, says, "Loose others honor Falomo at line-in state." All right. We'll go into details much later for that one. And then we also have Boko Haram attacks 2 army locations, 7 insurgents killed. And extradition, Air Peace boss Onyema denies suing FG. No border reopening until that's Benin. Others respect protocols. And that's coming from the federal government, saying no border reopening until Benin. And others respect protocol. And that's coming from the FG. IPPIS, FG says lecturers enrolling despite ASU opposition. Then SIM scam. Board suspends Kirikiri prison boss. 8 others. Now, this particular story, pretty interesting, talking about criminals operating from the cell, from the prison, still carrying out their fraudulent activities and in connivance with prison officials.
Did you read the 3-piece investigative piece on what goes on in the Nigerian prison?
It was frightening.
Very frightening.
It should be that. And maybe if a Nollywood director actually read that, they could make a movie out of it to put pictures to some of the things.
A lot is happening. I mean, he literally said in his piece that you can get a VIP cell if you want.
But we've always known that. Come on, we've always known.
Yeah, it was just...
We've always known,
bring it into reality.
The details
and
the system that has been built, this racketeering that has been built side by side with the legal system.
Well, but we can say it's not really just a Nigerian thing, actually. It's something that you see in other countries too, even other developed countries.
We don't care if it's in other countries.
But
I think we
Nigeria
should just tackle it the way it is.
Well, for me, one basic thing to take away from the piece is that lots of innocent people are rotting away in prison for offenses they never committed. They were not able to get lawyers to help them out of their situation, and we can only hope that the system would look into these issues?
Ordinarily, if you can't afford a lawyer, the state provides you one. So what happens to the state prosecutors and defenders? If you can't afford a lawyer, the state usually provides you with a lawyer. That's the way it should be. So if they can't afford a lawyer, so what happens to the state lawyers? Okay. We'll take more headlines. 200 level students arrested for participating in NYSC. How did this happen?
Huh?
The 200 level students are arrested for participating in the NYSC exercise. So, how did this happen? That's a question.
Well,
okay.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. Like 200 level student, like
all sorts. You hear all sorts. So we'll take more headlines and we'll come back to that. A lot of juicy headlines though. A court constitutes Kogi Election Tribunal. That's a court constitutes Kogi Election Tribunal. Then fight killed in moving from that's not our business. Let's say 8 killed in separate Taraba attacks, and then Buhari condemns Cross River killings as well. These are sad. 600,000 persons displaced by Boko Haram not getting assistance, and this is coming from UNHCR. Lawan asks NLNG to make cooking gas available. In UPG 2019. Towards a greater Lagos. You could read about that in a Punch newspaper this morning and get the details. Remember, you could react via the numbers and also on our pages.
All right, now let's start with the name. You took the Punch, right? So let's go into the Nation. All right, now we have Knocks for hate speech as activists march on assembly. Smart card reader has lost its usefulness, says INEC. Bizarre tales from IDP camps. Changing lives affected by dental flaws. UNICEF WHO step up war against measles, others. Obasanjo backs Buhari on border closure. FEC approves 19 billion naira for road projects in FCT Oyo, Kano. 3 Chinese regain freedom. Lagos to begin payment of 35,000 minimum wage this month. Makinde resists panel on Lautech. Finally, Onoyekon Afe can knock bills. Makinde presents 208 billion naira budget for 2020. More headlines loading coming from us. Okay, we have Makinde, Olubado, others for Oyediro's coronation anniversary. USSD charges telecom firms to stop banks from using links. Blame politicians for electoral violence, not INEC. Sanwo-Olu be faithful to due process. Commission steps up enforcement of safety standard. Igbenedion University honors Jonathan Elegushi. FRSA records 8,527 crashes, 4,163 deaths in 11 months. You can find all of these and more in the Nation.
Well, the death record there, coming from the FRSC.
The FRSC
is quite something to think about.
In 11 months.
Yeah, especially talking about the season where we have a lot of rush, people trying to do things at twice the speed. One would have to think and really take precautions.
I'm particularly worried about the fact that we have lots of cars that are not roadworthy. And wish...
That's a task for the VIO.
Well, I just wish they would actually concentrate on those vehicles not roadworthy. Some of these yellow buses, rickety cars, overloaded buses that cause some of these accidents. I mean, the VIO, they need to focus on the right people, not people that they can actually feel like they can milk something out from. You just see some private people driving, and then you feel like, and then I see most of the yellow buses in Lagos Sunday, they no longer have ignition. What they do is they join two wires together to start their vehicles. Are those roadworthy buses?
Or they push a button, makeshift button that they fixed. Okay, let's just take some more headlines. We get back to that. So the Guardian newspaper, that's where we are right now, and we've got some headlines. Makinde presents 208 billion 2020 budget targets. He's targeting 70% implementation, and that's really making the news. We get into. Hopefully, we have some time to look into that. Seplat contravenes local content policy with foreign MD. Okay. Then at summit, governors, IGP offer solution to insecurity. You can read more in The Guardian. FG urges support for UHC through NHIS. And then we've got PDP governors, budget ministers seek alternative revenue, that's revenue sources for states. Then Afe Babalola condemns hate speech bill, says it is beginning of dictatorship. All right. Then got more. In sports, we have gold, silver medal runners confirmed for 2020 Lagos City Marathon. When will Nigeria ever win this thing? I'm just thinking, like, when are we going to even get third? Like, come third, even if not first. We know the Kenyans have the
someday
physiological advantage, but we're saying, like, when are we going to? We have people in the north, up north, who have the same build and, huge lungs to take in air.
We're wondering why people who trek from one state to the other can't get involved in some of this.
They should get involved, and
they should put their real talent to use.
Get us some of these medals. These guys are just swooping in and swooping out with our money and our medal. Congrats to all of them anyway. Then Nigeria to battle US, Serbia, Mozambique for Tokyo Olympics ticket. And former chairpersons clash, or former champions clash at Ashujuoba Cup. Enters semi-final. Then a Principals Cup drags Okowa ex-Eagles stars to Asaba for final. Then Emery seeks Europa League comfort as Man United battles Kazakhstan Astana. Remo Monarch, that's a Remo Monarch, pledges support for 50-kilometer ultra race. All right, that's just some of the headlines from the Guardian newspaper.
Okay, moving on to
take some more. Let me just add these still from the Guardian newspaper.
Okay.
Protests against hate speech. Social media bill rocks Abuja, Lagos. And banks earned 180 million to deposit 546 billion naira with CBN.
Talking about banks, the conversation came up about the idea of the 50 naira when you use a POS 1,000. Okay. And they were saying CBN said they have nothing to do with that, but the fact is that almost everywhere you go to now, if you get to spend 1,000 naira and above, you're deducted 50 naira. Okay. Now a lot of people have taken to withdrawing money and paying cash instead.
Okay, the strangest thing, now that you mentioned it, I bought...
So the idea of cashless that they were actually trying to project...
It's been defeated.
It's been defeated. It feels like we're going back, like 10 steps
people are
back.
Trying to avoid
because a lot of people are feeling like, why should I have to pay 50 naira for using POS when I can equally withdraw the money from the ATM and pay cash?
No, in a way, I agree with part of what the CBN
and
is saying,
while some other people have opted for the idea of using their bank apps to do transfer.
Okay, fine. Even that, you will soon start getting the VAT, whatever, if you're paying for anything online.
And then people will be using, and people continue to withdraw cash.
Taking out cash. So it's gradually. But then I agree with a little bit of what the CBN seem to be saying, because now that you mentioned it, I used my POS all through yesterday. I used it 4 times. And I didn't, I know I used my card with POS. Yes. In different places. You know, at the pharmacy, or the supermarket, and then the fuel station and some other places. And I didn't pay any extra charges. I was just charged for what I bought.
Okay.
So
Some of them have still not everyone is already carrying out that instruction. Some people have already started carrying out this, especially most filling stations and also most supermarkets. They have started collecting the 15 naira once you use the POS, but we still have a lot of people who haven't started yet.
The question is,
we don't know if they have intention.
No, the thing is, who is telling the truth? The CBN says they're not the ones. There are no extra charges. So are they probably invariably saying that the vendors are the ones just doing this of their own volition?
I feel like it's something that the CBN is looking at doing, but there hasn't been an official statement towards that effect.
We can't speculate.
Most people, well, the fact is that we can authoritatively say that there is actually something that we can hold on to, that they said people can start charging that 15 naira, but people have gone ahead to start charging that 15 naira already.
The CBN already released an official statement saying this is not from us. So we have to look the other way and ask the vendors, why are you adding this money? Because I used my card yesterday 4 times and nobody asked me for any extra payment. So who is telling the truth? Who is responsible? Sometimes vendors tend to just, sometimes, I'm not saying that's what they're doing right now. Some vendors actually just decide to charge for certain things just on their own. We have a strange way of doing business in this part of the world. All right. So I want to know who is responsible for the extra 15 naira. Who is actually implementing that? Was it that before now, I spoke with a vendor, that was a week ago. Is it that before now, according to what I heard from her, she said they used to benefit from it, but the benefit is gone. It was a passing conversation, and I was in a hurry. Now, what that tells me is perhaps there were some benefits and then it's gone because of some extra charges or whatever, and they want to keep getting benefits by using that system. So the 15 naira thing came up. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to ask, because now that you mentioned it, I haven't paid that 15 naira ever. The only time I paid extra for using the ATM, for using the
Sunday, why do you have dark shades on? Why can't I see your face?
I'm having photo reaction this morning. So.
Okay.
Don't worry, you can see my eyes. I'll take it off. So at the end of the day, we still need to investigate. The only time I paid extra, it wasn't even 15 naira, it was 100 naira, and that was because I wanted to pay for taxi, Uber. And lots of people don't even have a problem with wanting to introduce 15 naira for POS transactions, but what they're saying is that it should be on a transaction of 10,000 naira and above. There should be no 15 naira, please. We should stop trying to. We'll say it's okay now, and then tomorrow when it starts increasing, we'll cry. There's no need for it. We don't need anything that will get people to pay more for anything right now. What the Nigerian people need is our policies and steps and system that will get us to spend less and be happier. Yes, that's what we need as a nation. Every penny counts. Yes, so we don't need anything that would, any policy or anything that will bring extra spending, extra cost should be avoided. If you want to be a good leader to Nigerians right now, in any state, in any capacity, start eradicating things that get people to spend extra. True. It's simple. Very true. We have the brains. Our leaders are not dummies. They're smart people. They could think these things through and begin to come up with these ideas. We don't need anything that will get people to spend extra. Life is... Let me just laugh over it. We don't want any more... expenses. Every naira, every penny counts. 15 naira in so many places, you realize how important money is. Don't forget that you can join the conversation on our website at www.metro977.fm, on Facebook at metro97.7fm, Twitter and Instagram at metro977fm. The numbers to start sending in your text messages and WhatsApp messages are 0810 608 1681
0818 202 5883 0810 608 1681 0818 202 5883. So we're going to headlines from the Vanguard. We have border closure contributes to rising inflation, FG admits. U.S. lawmaker petitions Nigeria over continuous assaults on journalists, activists. Army frees 978 detained Boko Haram suspects. We are tired of singing, clapping, dancing for politicians, Nigerian women declare. Adamawa Governor Fintiri demotes permanent secretaries to phase out DPs. Football coach remanded for raping 9-year-old boy.
What?
Very sad. Breaking, Ocean Police confirm release of 3 kidnapped Chinese miners. FG to rehabilitate 3 refineries for local production of 360,000 MT of gas by 2023. 8 years later, EFCC to rearraign Lagos ex-speaker Ikuforiji over alleged money laundering. 2019 polls, no evidence of hate speech in Nigerian newspapers. That's coming from a survey. Governor Bagudu presents 138 billion naira budget for 2020. Repealed pensions law, Governor Matawale to use savings for youth empowerment. Lagos government pays 1.51 billion naira accrued pension rights of 426 retirees. Senate introduces bill to establish Electoral Offences Commission. Why I contested 2019 presidential election, coming from Mogalu. FG approves 19.3 billion naira for road projects in FCT Oyo, Kano. Eat and Go commits 50 million naira to slum to school project. NGO calls for holistic policy actions, independent judiciary to sanction law. Obaseki to swear in new senior special assistants Thursday. MPDC organizes scholarship exam for 300 students in host communities. Business confidence in economy rises to 29 index points. That's coming from the CBN. Women going places. Rockefeller Foundation appointed Nigerian woman Ndidi Uwoneli to its board. Injury concern as Chelsea star Abraham stretched off against Valencia. UN campaign. Nigeria expresses commitment to end gender-based violence. DPR seals filling stations, gas retail shops in Nasarawa. Father docked for allegedly defiling 6-year-old daughter in Lagos. I decided to tell my story so that another person won't tell it for me. Rear Admiral Alison Madueke. Experts app on adoption of technology for economy rebranding. Sharia court another APC chieftain in Zamfara. 3 more Navy SEALs spared review after Trump's intervention. UK PM Johnson on course to win majority of 68 YouGov model. You can find all of these and more in the front page of the Vanguard. Don't forget that the numbers to send in your text messages and WhatsApp messages are 0810 608 1681 0818 202 5883 0810 608 1681 0818 202 5883. Those are the numbers to send in your text messages and WhatsApp messages. You can also drop your tweet at Metro977 FM. We go on a short breather
And we'll be right back.
And when we come back, we'll be taking traffic with Adiolu Pilot and also your comments, questions, everything that you like to be a part of.
We'll do the comments and question the comments first, and then we'll do Adiolu Pilot much later.
All right. Metro 97.7 FM. We'll be right back.
From Lagos, this is Metro 97.7 FM.
Your glasses making you look as if you want to join DSS. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Those guys, they can wear their glasses like 24 hours. 24 hours. And
they're supposed to remain anonymous most of the time.
You don't want you to see their eye movement. They're searching and perusing everything.
Are you looking for a comfortable crèche for your children? Do you want maximum security for your children? Do you need professional committed caregivers? Then Radio Nigeria Crèche Ikoyi Lagos is your destination point. We provide serene environment, maximum security, access to immediate medical attention, regular power supply, professional caregivers, playground with assorted toys. We cater for children between 3 months and 10 years. Radio Nigeria Crèche is situated at Radio Nigeria Broadcasting House in Kogi.
Good morning.
And you'll never regret that you did so. Do contact us on
Sonny, come on, say good morning.
Let me say good morning on the other side. These my people are still sleeping.
Good morning. Meet my boyfriend Sunday.
Hello, good morning. I'm born again.
Registration is on now.
What's up?
Navidad. Hey! Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. It's coming.
Have we taken Vanguard? Okay, you took Vanguard, right?
Yes, I took Vanguard. Taking Punch, Vanguard. You can do it this day.
From the 9th to 13th of December 2019.
Let's take your messages, Jerry.
Okay.
What's the other phone?
It's here.
The two of them are there.
No, that's a small one. Ask
just 1,000 naira. 1,000 naira. Ho, 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 ho. So, are you
ask Chinedu for the other one. Not the bottom of my heart.
Hi everyone, this is Stephanie Linus, Nee Okereke, and you're listening to Metro 97.7 FM. Keep listening.
Hi, I'm Asha. Keep listening to Metro 97.7 FM for beautiful music with great flavor.
What happened? Where's the other one? Thank you. All right, Metro 97.7 FM. Welcome from that short break, we told you earlier. That's the AM Thursday edition of the newspaper review segment with Toby and Sunday. Don't forget that the conversation is live on our website at www.metro977.fm, on Facebook at Metro 97.7 FM, Twitter and Instagram at Metro 977 FM. And don't forget also that the numbers to send in your text messages and WhatsApp messages to react to the headlines are 0810-608-1681, 0818-202-5883, 0810-608-1681, 0818-202-5883. Those are the numbers to send in your reactions to. Don't forget that later we're going to be taking Adiolu Pilot to know what the roads are saying in Lagos so that you get to plan your movement this morning. Sunday.
The roads are saying, the road speaks.
Lagos Road, they speak.
All right. Again, I'm Sunday Mona, and definitely we're set with more. But we want to take some of your reactions. The numbers you could send in your messages to 0810 608 1681 and 0818 202 5883. We got some reactions already, and someone is disagreeing with you, Toby. Before I read this message, I listened.
Disagreeing with me about what?
Yeah, I'll read it. I listened to the Last My Boss.
Okay.
One of the top managers there, and he said something that really got people talking. Said the elites in Lagos are the worst behaved.
Yes, I agree.
On the roads and
I agree.
And they want to flout the laws.
I agree, because when I see some people in their posh car throwing out trash from their vehicle,
anyway,
they get me speechless.
That particular WhatsApp group is very large. Let me just read the message. One way or the other, it still gets into other demographics, other people, but then he specifically said that the elites are giving a lot of problems and everything, and then went on to talk about other people, talk about the commercial buses, their own faults, talk about regular folks with their private cars, their own faults and everything. So it just really cuts across. So this message actually reads and said, "Good morning, Sunday and Toby. I totally disagree with you, as you said that the yellow bus drivers are the major causes of accidents on Lagos roads. The major causes of accident can be traced to automatic driving, because the drivers don't go to driving school to get instructions and get road signal information on the use of the road." And this is coming from Evangelist Emma and Elu Eke Shash. Okay. Well, it's sending this one in from Shasha.
Okay.
Thank you, Evangelist Emma. And he disagrees with you.
Okay.
You want to say anything? Or?
No.
All right. So we got more messages here. It says, "Good morning, and Toby. Good morning, Sunday and Toby. How is Sheyi? I hope all is well with him."
All is well. Sheyi is just enjoying
vacation.
Exactly, vacation. But he should be back soon, though.
He's on vacay.
But he should be back soon.
You join the celebrities at Dubai. I'm just saying. I don't want to say too much. So you know what? He's fine. He's doing fantastic.
Yeah, he's going to be back soon. At least he was around for Ike's tribute yesterday, so he'll be back on air very soon. So don't worry.
We'll tell him you miss him.
Sheyi, we miss you. I'm sure he's listening.
Most likely. So I read on. It says, Obasanjo backs Buhari on border closure is not surprising. It is hallmark of our leaders' insensitivity and disdain to the citizens. The policy is obnoxious and retrogressive. It is inflicting more hardship on... that's what he said about the border. And then he moves on to Air Peace and said, "Air Peace was ordeal. I urge the president not to fall into antique of foreign conspiracy that have ulterior motive. He should protect every Nigerian, and Air Peace boss should be allowed to prove his innocence. If indeed he is innocent, he should be protected. I registered for national ID since January 2015 and yet to get my card." Uzodinma sent in that one. Let's have another one here. And it reads, this one is actually coming in from... What's your name? Okay, Frank. Say, "Good morning, Metro FM, Metro crew." Frank Usimi from Ikeja says, 200 level students arrested for participating in NYSC. All right. Everything is possible in Nigeria. Road crashes are not only caused by vehicles that are not roadworthy, they are also caused by deplorable roads that are not vehicle worthy. All right. And then more reactions. This one's from, still from Troops. To all the hate speech bill that has passed second reading before the Senate, according to late Chinua Achebe, things fall apart. And I quote, "When two trees falls on each other, the topmost must be removed before the one beneath. I expected those sponsoring this bill to dig deeper to know why and how we arrived at this point of hate speech. As far as I'm concerned, this is like beating a child, at the same time denying the child the right to cry. Chooks from Lagos, useful youth arise. Now, he's not denying that there's hate speech. He's just saying going at hate speech from this angle is not, the best. Find the root, investigate the root cause and try to solve it from that particular point. Okay, we got another one here. David from Lekki says, "Good morning, Metro FM. Please, it's better to read." Okay, David, and this same message again. David, calm down.
David is irregular.
There are other people who want to hear the analysis. All right, just tolerate them. Okay, thank you very much, David. Tinubu, the defender of Fulanese. Okay, I have nothing to say now. However, some people are very poor students of history. Let's watch how far this honeymoon will last. When you eat your and so on and so on. Time will prove me right or wrong. And Ralph from Satellite sent in that one. All right, Toby, you want to give us some messages?
Okay, good morning, Metro FM. First, Sona and Toby, Boko Haram attacks military again. Well, we're told that they had not only been defeated, but rather decimated. Is the government being truthful to the citizens about the issue? All right, now moving on. Good morning, Sunday and Toby. Okay, I think you've read this. Also, this person's also asking about Shay. All right. Good morning, Metro crew. My name is Agu Kensi from Command Ikpaja. Please, how about Leah Shaibu? Nobody's talking about her again. We're still talking about her, and we're really praying and hoping that she comes back home safe to her family. Good morning, Metro FM crew. My name is Frank Osimi from Ikeja. 200 level students arrested for participating in NYC. Everything is possible in Nigeria. Road crashes are not only caused by vehicles that are not roadworthy, they're also caused by deplorable roads that are not vehicle worthy.
All right. We'll just hold on for a bit and take on a Deolu pilot. Toby, you continue in a jiffy. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Adelu.
Good morning to you. Good to have you join us this morning. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, I guess we haven't.
But we can't hear anything, so we'll try to get back to him.
We'll call you back as soon as. We'll call you back as soon as we're able to get through to. We'll call Adelu back as soon as we're able to get.
Morning.
Okay, good morning, Adelu.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good to have you. Finally, we can hear
you. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, Thursday morning is very good on most of our road. I must say this to you.
Amen.
You will not believe it. From Igodo, in fact, let me put it to you, from Egbeda, inward the Sherry roundabout. Nothing, I don't know. I even got to the social media and I found it that the Sherry roundabout is being diverted, because of one truck or the other. My brother, there's nothing there. I can confirm that to you. Beyond the Sherry, inward Igodo has been very, very good. And from Igodo to Yanoba, very, very impressive. In fact, the whole of last one, though, unfortunately, we had minor incident, not an accident this time around. A mini truck, for that matter, lost his brake in the course of trying to use the concrete to stop over, and it got fire. Fortunately for us, Nigerians are still very lovely and responsible people. People stood by that driver, came out with their fire extinguishers, and they rescued that vehicle from being absolutely burnt this morning. Apart from that accident, at beyond Akeson, before you get to Baduri, there's nothing bad, nothing serious, no traffic until you get to Yanoba. And Yanoba is just commercial activities. Fine, I can say this to you, because that road is not that smooth. It may be a bit slower down around, what's it called this morning, NFPC Jigo. And the worst one at Jakonde is slow, despite the fact that traffic officials are just resuming. If they are resumed earlier on, it could have been better. But I must say this to you, in as much as it is slow, it's still moving, just like what we have on the Long Bridge. Long Bridge this morning, it's been so tough since the earlier part of the morning, people clamoring for presence of police officers, especially on the Long Bridge. But despite all of that, people are still moving. It's not been a standstill it's just from that very car diversion. When you have a faulty vehicle around that end, that's when that issue rises. And the point is that this morning, it has not been that bad. Fortunately for us, from Asheshe, Orimerumu, Inward Ibafo, Inward Emeke, is still moving very well. It's just from point that we'll be making minor traffic, and it's not about, and it won't from the Lombi, it's not from point, it's just from that Lombi down to Kara diversion. Beyond that, axis is been very, very good. Tomela is moving very, very well. I never said there's no traffic, but Adeniji, Adekule, that's where you have traffic. Very close to your studios over there. As been encouraging commercial bus activities around that very key and about. But even at that, the same thing over the from the Tomela has not been that bad. Exactly the presence of last month. We want to talk about Lagos, be it Keja. The flood at Keja is dried up. So Keja is very, very encouraging this morning. Though trooping in of vehicle this morning in what we showed it's making it a bit difficult. But in as much as you want to come here, cement mango this morning, join up with Keja. For those coming from Agidi as well, it has not been that bad. The only two vehicles I noticed on that very stretch of the road. Number one, I think I should three vehicles. Number one is the cement truck. They are put cement at Ajala, and not that good. Fortunately for us, that place is not bad, but it's a wide road at Ajala bus stop, inward Amadia, inward Newton. So you still maneuver. The cement are right on the road, but you still maneuver either to the left or to the right, because that vehicle is right on the middle of that road. The second one is the Sienna. I don't know how it drove it, probably middle of the night or late last night, but I noticed it's diamond color Sienna to the left, around very close to that very concrete. Before you get to Yanopaja. Beyond that, another cement truck could not move on that very part of Yanopaja. Those are the reasons you have traffic ascending that very Yanopaja beyond that village station, approaching on that bridge. Then commercial activities on that bridge, Yanopaja. That's the reason behind that very traffic. Apart from that, like I said earlier on, people are still moving. The whole of our background is very, very good. I think cinema has not been very bad this early morning. I think AP has not been very bad. Commercial people are moving in as well. Oga has been encouraging. Ojobaga are not too bad. Bega itself in what Alapere this morning. For those coming out of the Kodu, Kosofe is the reason behind that traffic. It's not a bad one as well. Like I said earlier on, you're still moving. Independent journal has been attended to. So we're moving from Modu, allowing independent journal. And the Kodu proper, we are still moving this morning. So, like I said earlier on, a Thursday morning like this, we can still endure what the witnesses on the road. The most important thing is we should reduce our speed. Nobody should do one way, especially Lagos Ibadan. Don't do one way. If we can abide by that very important rule, then we'll have no problem. Allow me go, then you go after me. That is the secret behind traffic. If all of us want to go at the same time, then we let it talk. Good morning. Take care of yourselves.
All right. Thank you so much, Adelu.
All right. Have a lovely day.
All right. Now we move on to some more comments and contributions. Good morning, Metro crew. Alex Onyema wanted in the U.S. I hope they don't witch hunt in the U.S. Coming from Coachella. Metro again. Any forward looking and right thinking Nigerian support border closure? We should learn to sacrifice a little to gain in the future. That is coming from Ninke K2. All right, now moving on, we have it's from Agor. It's said that the job of the government has been reduced to condemning attacks and killings rather than protecting the citizens. All I hear now is Buhari condemns killers are brought to book, and if they are brought to book, will they do term or get VIP cells? Good morning. Lagos begins paying 35,000 minimum wage this month. For me, it is not an achievement, and 100,000 is very good. Leo from K2. Onya from Lagos. Airpeace boss should just go to the US to clear his name and forget about those people who want to make a fortune out of his present predicament with their show of solidarity, which will complicate things for him. He should know that government magic only works in Nigeria and not the US. Samuel from Lekki, I have a question. Banks are not really giving loans to SMEs. They give to billionaires who end up not paying back. Where are the banks raking in these billions in profit from? They are clearly stealing from depositors through ATMs and all sorts of charges, and the CBN is aware. NAS should help us. Good morning, Metro crew. Border closure, please, FG should consider this festive period and reopen the border. Things are more harder in the country since the closure of the border. A second-year student enrolled in NYC, what is actually happening in this country? God bless Nigeria. Coming from Adiani Chukudi from Yaba. Good morning. The current 50 naira being charged for PS transaction is meant for stamp duty Card holders are first to be paying it at shop, supermarket, petrol stations because the POS owners do not want to bear this charge. Though some stores are not charging, while few even place notice around to inform customers. Talkback from Yaba. You are wrong. Okay, moving on. From Steve Omar of Fosway, what a country. Most of the headlines read this morning, particularly from the Punch, are negative stories and hardship and killings of Nigerians. Well, I'm glad somebody in the caliber of Afe Babalola has also spoken strongly against the hate speech bill. Whatever the situation may be, however, restructuring is the only way for Nigeria. Take it or leave it.
Is that Omar Fosway?
Yes.
Okay. The moment I heard restructuring, just
all right, Ibeto
like
and the Uber. Innocent now Alan Onyema. Who is after Igbo men? Why can't NAS look at bills that will create jobs and better our lives instead of social media control? Until we begin to cut off the instrument for rape as punishment, this mess may not end. The activists and protesters that occupied Ojota have all gone under or join the government of the day, raising all forms of increments and policies that affect us negatively and not challenged. That is coming from Chijioke. All right, now
we have to be very careful the way we drag in tribal coloration into issues. We've read on social media, basically, a lot of people trying to turn the whole Onyema, Mr. Onyema, the airpiece boss issue into a tribal case. There was a particular person on my friend list who went on and on listing different people from different regions and calling them thieves and saying they're trying to evict. So I asked him for evidence. I said, okay, fine, I've heard what you said. Can you present anything tangible we could look at as proof? And he went quiet. Till now, he's yet to say anything. So we need to be very careful. The whole indictment thing about Onyema is not coming from Nigeria. It's coming from the US. And because that particular company, Airpeace, worked with 2 US firms who should have protected them from the kind of money movement that they were involved with, he didn't steal. He didn't steal money. What he's being accused of, what the company is being accused of, is moving money, without
due process.
Just moving money from one place to another, canceling a deal and going for another without due process. All right, and the whole thing is coming from the US,
and also using NGO too.
Exactly.
I just think more people would actually sit down and
read the story. Just read through the story. You discover that,
sentiments aside,
the companies that worked for him, the US company that worked for him, are being accused that they should have known the law and all that and protected him from this mess. And then at the end of the day, the lawyers have gone through it. The case is a case that he could clear himself off, and come out of it. So before we start putting tribal coloration over everything, he's an Igbo man, let's get the details, understand the case, and then we could have our comments.
All right, now moving on, we have the so-called hate speech bill will die a natural death. As FG has admitted that border closure caused inflation in Nigeria, what is the solution now? Coming from Odia Mark. Good morning, Metro FM. No evidence of hate speech during the last conducted 2019 elections. What is the hate speech now that is important from Singapore?
That report was specific. Was it they referred to the newspapers?
On sports, talking about when Nigeria will pick third place
that particular report
in the marathon race. It's quite unfortunate. What our men know is to undo. Okay,
let's take them one after the that person. Who was that person?
Which one?
The one who made mention of the hate speech.
That's Barrister Osuji.
Okay, the reports we read from the dailies specified that it was referring to newspapers. Nowhere else. He didn't mention any other place because he was questioning it. So it was specifically referring to newspapers. We all know that the blogs, it's a different ball game. In the blogs, social media, it's a different ball game. A lot of things go out on blogs, and a lot of things go out on social media. We do encourage people to read the stories. Even if you find a story in a blog, look for the same story in the newspaper. It is always suspicious when you see a story on a blog and you can't find it in any newspaper. Just know it's suspicious, because the newspapers are not in a hurry to release stories. They want to investigate and send people to go verify stuff before they put it out, because they got more to lose than names and everything. But for a blog, there's an individual trying to make money and trying to get you to click, so they post all sorts. So it was specifically for newspapers and not everywhere on the internet, just to clarify that.
All right, now, good morning, Metro FM crew. As an ardent listener, nothing to comment on today with the annoyance in me. Just to acknowledge you guys, remain blessed. That's coming from Benoba Solomon.
Please.
Okay, coming from Pastor Oladipoyemo from Orile Igomu. On the border closure, and those who are in authority are not directly affected, it can be closed forever. It's not known that our government can't protect us, they only condemn. Okay. Good morning, Metro crew. Why is POS charge in Nigeria? Okay, it means why are we charged more for POS in Nigeria than other countries? That's coming from Mr. Paul Udeme from Ikorodu. I really hope I got that right. All right, good morning, Metro crew. Concerning the level 2 NYSC guy, I had guessed this will start happening soon. How can you recently start registering for NYSC online? Nigerians are peculiar. The whole system where schools supervise students' clearance and issue call-up letters eliminates such scams and forgery. You think it's about the online registration now? Well, he's saying having to register online now is one of the reasons why you would have things like the level 200
no, you go through
students.
Screening now. We went through that. I went through the process. The screening is thorough. There's something else. That person did that thing with the connivance from insider connivance.
Because he's saying direct clearance from school eliminates some of the scams. But we found out that even back then when we had no online registrations, we still had people who were not qualified to go for NYSC.
So whether direct, of course, you have to go through a certain level of clearance in school before your name show up online. You have to do physical clearance. You have to present documents. You have to be screened before your name, because if you're going online to register anything, your data is already on the site. Now, the only way your name gets to the site is because you've done clearance in school. So that is already covered.
Exactly.
Now, this problem is coming from somewhere else, because when I did my clearance, I had to travel twice just so I can appear physically and present documents. So it's thorough. It's only after you've done that, then your name passes through and goes online. If you don't do the clearance, your name will not get there. So if this is happening and this person went through the process, we don't know if the name actually appeared online, or perhaps because it wasn't there, the person was caught. We have details, a little bit of detail here about the story. We do have time. We're just going through it for a bit.
I think we should do that when we come back at 8 o'clock, because we don't have more time on our hands. Okay. Just the last one. Good morning. Good morning, Metro crew. It's Speech Bill. I hope we don't blame ourselves later from Coachella. You want to quickly read up what you have for
maybe just to get a few details. Okay. The story on the NYSC case. Now, the National Youth Service Corps has arrested a 200-level student who allegedly obtained a fake degree certificate and was undergoing the orientation exercise at the Zamfara State Camp. Okay. The news reported in the dailies, the Punch newspaper this morning, says this happened last Friday. Okay. Now, the student was apprehended, identified only as Rose, a female. So, 200-level journalist undergraduates at the university in Benin Republic. Now, the NYSC Director General went on to say, he confirmed it, and he said the Benin Republic University wrote to the school when it officials discovered her on the social media, posting her photographs in the...
Okay, so she actually gave herself out. She knew that she wasn't supposed to be there, and then she went ahead to start posting pictures. Okay, she dug her grave herself.
There's more to the story, because the school actually outed her. The school sent a letter to NYC and then outed her. Now the DG,
because I was going to ask how NYC was actually able to find out that she was still supposed to be in school. So,
well, they're currently further investigating the case, and there's a warning out to other NYC. We're still asking the question: how did she get to camp? Now the school said we did not clear this person. This person is still in school, 200 level. So how did she get there? We need to answer that question.
And also the certificate she presented at the NYSC.
She said it was fake. So someone helped her.
Yes,
someone helped her. They need to get those people, someone or some people, get them, and they should all face and dance to the music.
All right, Metro 97.7 FM. It's been a wonderful time on the AM Newspaper Review segment, Thursday edition of AM Lagoslive. Don't forget that the conversation continues on our website at www.metro977.fm, on Facebook at Metro 97.7 FM, Twitter and Instagram at Metro 977 FM. Right now, we need to go to Abuja for the network news at 7, and we'll hope to be back here at 8 o'clock for more trending stories and lots of things for you on our lineup. I have been Olorin Tobi Adejare, and with me has been
Sunday Nimona, radio boyfriend person.
Yes, the one and only. You. Oh my God, thank you so much everybody for joining our live feed this morning. I really appreciate you. Yes, for joining this sleepyhead this morning. Yes, I'm having a sleepy morning. Sunday. I feel like a cup of coffee will do this morning. What do you think? Are you a coffee person? Sunday. Are you a coffee person?
Yeah, in a way.
Track and monitor your vehicle anywhere and anytime.
Thank you. Have a lovely day.
To avoid unexpected security breach,
I haven't had it in months. Coffee. Thank you so much, Midday, Gbemi, Obitex. Good morning. Wishing you a very lovely, productive day. Yes.
Our head office is located at number 7 Uyo Crescent off